Okay, in this video we're going to be talking about the Unit 6 quiz. It says Quiz 2, but it's actually going to be Quiz 1 review. All right, so let's go and get started. Weekly, it is 52. All right, I'm writing with my mouse, that's why it looks a little weird. Bi-weekly is going to be 26. Monthly is 12, and lastly, semi-monthly is 24. All right, so this is information that you should know. We've gone over it several times, so let's keep going. All right, so answer the following questions regarding Smith's Feed and Seed. So Yoko is paid semi-monthly. How many fewer paychecks does she receive in a year compared to someone who's paid weekly? Well, let's say semi-monthly, you're going to get 24 paychecks. All right, if you're paid weekly, you're going to get 52 paychecks. So all I'm doing is I'm just subtracting 52 from 24, and you're going to get a total of 28 paychecks. You're still getting paid the same, basically, but you're just getting more paychecks, so smaller paychecks, that is. All right, so Cecil gets paid biweekly. Her biweekly is that. What is her annual salary? Man, let's talk about easy. Her biweekly salary is that. So convert to yearly. Man, that's easy. Just multiply by 26. All right. Now, to speed things up, I'm going to have to start typing some of this stuff. All right. So when you times it by 26, let's go ahead and round, let's see, to the nearest cent, $45,845.28. All right. Two super easy questions. Let's see if this is going to be easy. Tommy used to get paid weekly. Okay. His employer decided to change his pay schedule to monthly, determine his new monthly gross pay. All right. Let's see if anybody remembers this. We're getting paid weekly, and we need to go to monthly. Now, guys, you remember as well as I do, there's no such thing as a weekly to monthly switch. So we're going to have to convert to yearly first, all right? And then we are going to divide back to monthly. All right, so if you remember, weekly, 52 weeks out of the year. So let's get this. All right, so weekly, 575. We're going to times that by 52. We're going to get a number, and that'll be our yearly pay. And then we're going to divide that, let's see, monthly by 12. So when we do the math, $2,491.67. All right. Amy works for Cook's Dry Cleaners, and Monday through Friday, and then she earns $8.50 per hour and double time for working overtime. All right, so we actually don't have an actual traditional overtime. It's just straight into double time. So last week, well, she worked 48 hours. All right, so let's see if we can do this. So if you remember anything about work, you work how many hours? The first 40 hours is going to be regular time, RT. Now, the way that this question is situated, they're getting double time pay for anything over 40. So this is just one of those situations where we worked 8 hours and we're straight into DT, which is double time. Okay. Now remember, regular time, I'll do this in different color, is $8.10. So this is $8.10 for regular time. Double time would be $16.20. Because remember, 810 double 1620. So I'm going to take 40, multiply it by $8.10, get a number. I'm going to take 8, multiply it by 1620 and get a number. And so when I do all of that, let's see, I end up with $453.60. All right. Pedro works at Meadow Deli. He earns $9.20 per hour, receives time and a half for overtime. Last week he worked 45 hours, and his gross pay was $414. Is this amount correct? Well, I mean, it's pretty much the same exact question as what we just did, except we're not dealing with double time. It's overtime. So let's see, 40. That's not a good color. All right, so 45 hours. We're going to shear off the first 40 because that's always going to be regular time, RT. And then 5 hours of OT. Now they call this traditional overtime, so that's time and a half. So he earns $9.20 per hour. So again, different color here. Regular time, that would be $9.20. Overtime would be $13.80. So let's see, again, 40 times 9.20, 5 times 13.80. You do the math, and let's see, his paycheck should be, oh, I did that. All right, it should be $437. I gotta get used to the uh, number stuff. All right, so it should be $437, but he was only paid $414. So obviously there's an issue. So how much does he owe him? Well, let's just subtract the difference, 414. So I guess you could say the answer is this correct? No, it's not. And he should get an additional $23. So there we go. I guess I should put a comma there. There you go. Ah. Miriam, I guess, is a is a real estate agent. She earns 2% commission on each sale she makes. Last week she sold a house for $575,000. I said 2%, but that's 0.2%. So calculate her commission. All right, very simply, I'm going to take $575,000 and I'm going to times it by 0.002. Because remember, you move the decimal point 2 places as always. So for that commission, she got, hey, look at that dollar sign, $1,150. All right. Hillside Travel pays its employees $10 per hour and then 8% on commission. All right. So last week, Tyrus worked 20 hours and booked. All right. So this is going to be one of those where in order to find the total pay, you're going to have to take the hours worked, and then you're going to have to add the commission. All right, the comp. We'll just stop right there. All right, so he worked 20 hours. So 20 hours times $10 an hour. All right. And then we're going to add that to 8%. All right, so he sold 2,100, and again, dollar sign, and we are going to times that by 0.08. All right, so there's two things that we got to figure out. We got to figure out what this is, and then we got to figure out what this is, and then we're going to add the two together. And so when we do that, the answer ends up being $368. All right. Apple's music store pays its sales staff a commission of 9% for the first 1,000. All right. Now notice, folks, when we're doing this, there's two things to pay attention to, and that is we have two percentages. This guy right there and this guy right here. Two percentages, which means we're probably going to have to split it. So 1,300, we are going to get the first 1,000 taken away, and the difference would be 300. So the first 1,000 will be multiplied by, I'm going to go ahead and convert this to a decimal, 0.095, and then 15.5% will be 0.155. All right, so I'm going to simply take this, multiply, take this, multiply, and then add. That's supposed to be an addition symbol, but my finger slipped. The answer is going to be $141.50. Barry wrote a computer self-help manual that sells for $15 each. He received a bonus of $1,000 to sign with the publisher and then receives 10. All right. So now, first off, a bonus. in the context of this question, it's kind of like base pay. All right. So the thing is, once we get all of our work done, all right, so once we get all of our work done, we're going to have to add $1,000 to this. Okay, so that's what we're going to have to do. So I'm going to leave that right there. All right, now let's read. The book sells for $15 each, and there's 1,200 of them sold. All right, so off to the side here. All right, so $15 each times 1,200. That's going to give me the total sales, and he gets 10% of that. So I'm going to times that by 0.10. Now remember, when you get the work, to remember the $1,000. So when I multiply that by 10%, or 10%, I'm then going to get another number, which would be my commission, and I'm going to add $1,000 to it. So after it's all said and done, Mr. Barry, $2,800. There we go. All right, so George contributes. Oh, let me zoom out so we can do this. That's a little too much, but you're looking at the problem. All right, so okay, so his employer contributes some. So all right, so I'm going to create a proportion. So that's going to be $80 over 15 is equal to X over 100. Now we've done several of these before, so I'm going to kind of speed up a little bit. The answer ends up being $533. All right, let's see if I can move that. $533. Now, since he is paid monthly, all right, so since he's paid monthly, it costs $533 a month. So I'm going to convert that to yearly because that's step 2 by timesing it by 12. So when I do that, I get a total of $6,396. All right. Now, step 3 is the weird one, folks, because you always have got to go back to the original question. He pays $80 monthly. So step 3 is converting that rate to yearly. So $80 times 12, because it's a monthly question. He pays $960. Okay, so wrap your brain around this. I've said this several times in class. It costs $6,000 for him to be insured. He pays $960 of that. So when it says subtract, that basically means, hey, just find the difference between those two. So 6,396 minus 960, that gives me the company's contribution of 5,436. There we go. All right, now we can zoom back in. View, zoom. All right, so Ariel, Bob, and Pete's. Piecework rates, so we live in factories, your existence. Okay, all right. Last week, Ariel produced 625 units. Now notice again, as you're reading this, you receive something for one, something for the other. So 2 parts, which usually means we're going to have to split it up. All right. We're going to split it up based on the first 500 because it says right there. 500, 125, because that's what's left over. First 500, she gets 50 cents, 0.50, and then after everything else, 75. All right, 500 times 50 cents, 125 times 75, and we end up with her getting $343.75. Now, last week, Pete produced 425 units. So how much did he earn? Now, notice, the way that this problem is set up, it's set up based upon cutting it up by 500 units. Pete never got above 500 units. So that means the first 50 cents is the only level that Pete got to. All right. So what I'm going to do very simply is 425, and I'm going to times that by 0.50 cents. And that should be $212.50. All right. Last week, Bob produced 110 units. Well, same exact question, guys. 500 units was how we're going to split it up. So first 500 right there. Anything left? You should be on autopilot, and this part is going to be pretty simple. All right. So that's going to be 50 cents. And this is going to be 75 cents. Multiply those two and then add. You get $482.50. All right. Jen's Medical Group Insurance coverage cost $3,580 per year. The company pays 85% of the cost. How much is deducted? All right. So this type of question you'll see on this question. See that little arrow? We've already done that in class. This question right here is basically the same exact as this question. All right. So very simply, here's the relationship, and that is you are going to take the total cost. You are going to times it by her percentage, and then you're going to get her cost. And then you are going to divide it, so I'm just going to put a backslash, by whatever the question is. And it's a weekly question, so I'm going to divide it by 52. All right, so the total cost of this is $3,580. I'm going to multiply it by her percentage, which is 15%, which is 0.15. I'm going to get her cost and then divide it by 52. And that's what I get my answer to be. All right, so that's the relationship. And the answer ends up being $10.33 taken from her every single week. All right. All right, so John works for a delivery company. Oh, we got to do an earnings statement. All right, so let me zoom out just a little bit. All right, there we go. All right, so let's talk about some things. First off, he's getting paid 20 bucks an hour, and he only clocked in 39 hours. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 39 multiplied by 20. So when I do that, let's see, 39 divided by 20, that is 780 bucks. All right, so that is the amount of money that I'm going to be multiplying everything by. So let's see, look at that. I even gave you Social Security. Look at that. Social Security tax is 6.2%. All right, so federal is going to be 8%. Social Security is 6.2%, never changes. Medicare is 1.45%. State, in this example, there is no state, so there's nothing. And is there a local tax? There is a local tax, and that is 2%. All right. So the federal stuff, let's go ahead and get all this stuff done. $62.40. Social Security, remember, what you're doing is you're multiplying 780 times the percentage. All right. $48.36. $11.31. There's no state. I'm just going to put a big zero there. And the local is going to be $33. Oh, sorry, wrong button, wrong number. $15.50. Now, hold here for a second. John, yep, it's John. John is responsible for 10% of his annual health care cost. Now, again, this question for John is exactly like the one we just finished with Janet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take and copy this, and I'm just going to bring it over here. There it was. All right, so the total cost will give his percentage and his, get the pronouns right, cost divided by 52. Okay? So now the reason I'm dividing by 52, again, if you look, here it is. It's a weak problem. All right? So do the math. So we have 17,300, and I'm going to times it by what he's responsible for, which is 10%, so 0.10. I'm going to get an answer, which will be his cost, and I'm going to divide that answer by 52. So when I do the math, his medical ends up being $33.27. Now, if you keep going up and read, we have $20, that's his union dues, and then look at this, this is new, and 10% of his gross pay is directed or transferred directly into a savings account. So let's bring our percentages. Now, this is just one of those other things which is never going to be the same for, just, or it may not be the same. I don't want to say never, but, $20 for union dues and other ends up being 78. All right. So once you get all the deductions, you are then going to take all these deductions. You are then going to subtract them from 780. So when you do that, his net pay ends up being $, because I have a lot of room here, $511.06. All right, moving right along. Brittany is shopping at Walmart. She purchased all this information. The sales tax is $6. All right, so it's pretty simple. All right, so I'm going to start with Lysol, $239 plus $489 plus $139 plus 2 packs of ham, which is 0.79 plus 0.79. I'm going to get a number, and I'm going to times it by my sales tax, 0.06. And when I do that, I'm going to get an answer of $10.87. Pretty easy. Harry's buying 3 shirts for $19.99 each and 2 pairs of pants for this. Sales tax 5%. All right, almost the exact same. 3 shirts for $19.99. $19.99 plus $19.99 plus $19.99. Or you could have took $19.99 times about 3, whatever. 2 pairs of pants, 25 plus 25 equals get a number. Get me a number, and I'm going to times that number by 5%. So 0.05. Alrighty, and so when we do that, we'll add it back, and your final answer is going to be $115.47. Easy peasy. And last one. Ann earns $32,400 a year and paid semi-monthly. How much is deducted her pay period? All right, for Social Security tax. All right, so this is an easy question. This is like deduction question. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to divide this by semi-monthly, which is 24. All right, so when I do that, so I'm going to take 32,400. I'm going to divide that by 24, and I end up getting semi-monthly paycheck of $1,350. Now, this is the amount of money that I'm going to multiply by the Social Security tax and Medicare. All right, so off to the side, 1,350 times 0.062 for Social Security, and I end up getting $83.70. And then 1,350, I want to times that by 0.0145, and I get $19.58. I'm just going to throw that up there. There you go. All right, that's the review. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully that you'll make a good grade. So anyway, thank you for watching. Bye-bye.